And here is our red Terran player, not going for the purple this time. Sporting the red, which will represent the blood of his enemies splattering the ground. There's Ryung. There he is. Not spamming, apparently. And here is his Zerg opponent. Yellow to represent the cowardice of his enemy.
MVP Violet.
There he is, playing Starcraft 2. By the way, thanks very much to LG Cinema 3D and Intel and G-Skill. And thank you very much, Wolf, for reminding me to mention those guys.
I just always remember because...
These games are so exciting, I always forget.
You guys who don't come to the studio don't know that Doa actually did a voice for the sponsors, and we hear his voice every time the game starts up. It's only on the Korean stream, though, so you guys don't hear it. And every time it happens at the beginning, I'm like, oh, we didn't mention the sponsors last game. And I like immediately want to do it, but then when you do the intros, and then we make jokes, and I forget. So I'm like, tap Moletrap on the shoulder and showed him a sign. I was like, talk about the sponsors, because they're so important. They really are.
He actually, he tapped me on the shoulder, and he held up like a 3D television and some RAM and a processor.
And I was like, do you know what this means, Moletrap? And it took you a while, but you figured it out. You were like, I don't know what all those products are for. They're just some awesome products. I don't know what it means though. And a little bit of a battle here. The drone has to retreat.
Yeah, I'm like, Wolf. So those are the reason why we have this tournament going on. Those are the ones that support esports. What are you trying to tell me?
You're like, can I have those? So awesome. Like, no, you have to buy them at the store.
Scantipede sighted by the natural violet. Scantipede knows about that quick hatchery. And there's a spawning pool going down as well. Nice little wall off there. Says SCV took some harassment.
I love the name Scantipede. It's so funny to me. Whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, it's so funny, it's so cute, it's a little Scantipede.
Scantipede. It's like a centipede, except instead of having cent or 100 legs, it has scant legs. Very few legs.
Yeah, that's
that was a stretch. I'm sorry. Command center going up in the background for
I like
Ryung.
that. I think he does have. I think he actually only has 4 legs. Yeah, that command center in a kind of a funky spot.
Hard to tell.
He's got a few more than 4.
He's got like little tentacle things. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
If they're legs or if they're tentacles.
Definitely not as many as a centipede or a millipede, though.
No.
I hate centipedes, man. I actually hate them.
Why?
Because they're back in the States, centipedes would sneak into my house. They could like swim in the water and stuff. Yeah, I actually have a story. I'll tell you guys. So the other day it was like a month ago. I had this centipede run into my room, freaked out, right? And I like slammed it. It was in the bathroom. I like slammed it with a paper towel or something and tried to like slap it off the wall. It landed in the toilet. And I flushed the toilet. I was like, ha! It's over. Then like it just like walks out of the toilet. I was like, what is this? Why is it still alive? I feel like a girl right now, but I mean, like, jeez, how did it come back?
Not that we mean to imply that females are inherently cowardly by any means.
No, we don't want to say that, but honestly, it was a little weird. I was a little scared.
It sounds weird, man. I would have been freaked out too if like I flushed something down the toilet and then it crawled back to get me. And a factory going on at a little high ground. That's
fast
cute.
Roach Warren for Violet as well.
Ooh.
You may want to put on some pressure.
Ooh, we haven't seen roaches at all this matchup.
Yeah, he's making 5 roaches actually. He definitely wants to do something with that. But with that bunker going down, it may be difficult. But the natural on this map is wide open. There's also 2 entrances.
He's been playing the Muto-Ling play with Bailings, and so roaches could catch Ryung off guard.
Yeah,
he's getting a factory, but he's not going to have tanks out.
Yeah, he stopped his drone production there for a little while as well.
Oh, he spots the roaches moving across the map now. How is he going to respond?
He's going to have to be very careful about this because he does have that bunker and 4 Marines. And oh, he made a reactor, so he really doesn't have that many Marines out. He's only going to have those 5.
Oh, he's going to have to repair that bunker like crazy.
Yeah, and if Violet engages this properly, he's just going to completely ignore the bunker and attack the SCVs instead. And when the Marines come out, you can target those.
Ryung, yeah, he's going to target on SCVs. I think Ryung was planning on going Reactor Hellions because he had put a reactor on his barracks and built a factory on the high ground. And he is going to go Reactor Hellions after all, actually, even after seeing those roaches, which is a peculiar move.
Yep. Uh-oh. Got to stay away from that bunker. Oh, he's bringing some Zerglings. I don't think that was a good idea, though.
Actually, he might just take out that bunker. He's moving with these 5 roaches. And Ryung doesn't have anything to say about this. Roach is just walking into the main. Hellions, like I said, he made Hellions, so he can't really do much. Marauder's going to pop out soon, I think, though. But still, this is actually doing a ton of damage with just 5 roaches.
Yeah, he's killing so many SCVs. And finally, the roaches are... Oh, I thought they were cornered, but they're not. And he's actually going to pull his SCVs away. Now losing Marines. Gotta say, Moltrap, this roach pressure, I really like it.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. He's making... And here's the thing. Violet, he's not saying, okay, I've done my damage, I'm going to take a third. He's producing tons of roaches and speedlings right now. He is going to try and finish the game right now. I don't know if that's the best idea. There's a bunker. There's marauders.
I don't
know.
Yeah, I think part of it may be he made a few too many roaches. I was going to say, I think he just wants to get the roaches to defend, and he made like 8 more roaches. That's a few too many roaches for defending. As we saw the other day, if you have 3 roaches, you can defend anything.
3 roaches is all you need.
They're like hunter killers, man. Thanks to the people. I saw someone posted on Reddit like, Wolf, I remember, and I was like, oh, I like this guy who remembers. Oh, look at this Hellions, or rather roaches sneaking in. Hellions sneaking in at the same time.
Yeah, but with those roaches there, the Hellions are going to do very minimal damage.
Yeah, it looks like that one roach was taken out. Marauders coming out now as well to help deal with those siege tanks. To follow up. He's continuing to put this pressure on. I like it, but how much longevity does this attack really have? Once he starts losing these units, he hasn't really been droning that much.
Yep. And here comes the natural rather. Tank going in. Oh, if he's going to try and snipe the tank, he's repairing the tank with a couple SCVs though. And that actually was really, really crucial because if he hadn't repaired that tank, he would have lost it and had even less map control, or even less control of his natural, I guess. So the roaches ended up doing nothing because they were targeting the tank being repaired, and these Hellions also doing nothing.
By the way, this Viking is up to 3 kills now. He's killed 3 overlords, and that puts Violet just the red zone. He's supply blocked. Well, he actually just popped a bunch more overloads out, but he was temporarily supply blocked.
Roach speed being upgraded, so he's investing in these roaches.
Yeah, he just needs to keep them alive. Doing these little attacks is nice, but once the tanks are out, once your opponent's got the bunker set up, he's got kind of a nice wall, that's when it's time to stop using the roaches. It's time to just stop using the roaches, maybe make a few back at home, but Ryung, he shows that he can defend pretty well, and to keep throwing units away like this is I don't want to say it's terrible, but, you know, not that good. But he has started droning up now, finally. Stopped his roach production.
It seems like we're seeing a little bit of the overzealousness that we've seen from Violet this entire series, where he like tries to get a little bit too much out of it, and continues attacks a little bit too long until he loses it. That Viking with 3 kills is in fact a notch on that Queen's belt now.
Yep. And Spire is going out. The Violet's or the Viking spotted that. And the Violet, like I said, he stopped making roaches. He's just cranking out the drones right now. Does have roach speed, so he may try to power some roaches. I find this strategy really interesting, Moltrap, because you don't normally see roaches unless your opponent's doing something, you know, like he's going a lot of Hellions, you need the roaches, or if he's going Thors, you just kind of need a lot of roaches. Make a ton, you just kill the Thors with the roaches, no overwhelming them out. But that's usually a mid to late game kind of situation. We're still kind of not yet in the mid game. Spire's finishing up. We're about to hit that mid game timeline, but
and he is switching up because he's getting a Baneling Nest, he's getting the air carapace. In fact, he made the air weapons, canceled it a moment later, and made the carapace.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. Ryung must have seen that Spire because he actually had a drop going in that we saw for a moment, and it went in and just like said, "Uh-oh, he might have mutas," and just turned around and left without doing anything. But yeah, Violet definitely transitioning into Muta Bling for the mid game.
It's weird that he made the roach speed and is not really using it right now.
That is strange.
It's kind of a funky investment. I was hoping to see some more roaches out of him if he was going to really invest in that, the roach warren as well. Made a lot of roaches at first, and now he's just kind of cutting back on those. We'll see, though. He's cranked out a lot of mutas. In fact, he's got 11 mutas out right now. Carapace a long way off from finishing, but he's going to use these mutas right away. Ryung has his Marines split up again, but may not be enough here.
And he does go ahead and charge into these Marines, and actually he's trying to fall back to those turrets, but took all of his Marines out at the same time. Turrets going down as well.
Saved all those mutas, 2 of those mutas, 2 health and 4 health.
I was about to say, like, how did none of those mutas die? It's because 3 of them almost died, or 2.5. Stim is almost completed. Oh, maybe that's why he didn't fight, because he didn't have Stim.
Yeah. You know, he had not that many units back in the main, and that's something that Ryung has done in these games so far, is he splits his Marines. But if you split your Marines and your opponent gets Carapace especially, or if he just has a lot of mutas, and you have your Marines split but no turrets to support them, your Marines are just going to die. then he's going to attack your base and harass you.
Yeah.
So you got to be very careful, very decisive about how you defend that Muta harass. But now he does have stem to make it a lot easier for him. Baneling speed finishing up, that Carapace now finishing, and now he's starting to add those roaches back into his army, as you can see on the screen there. He's got 5 more on the way. Marine trying to spot for the gold base.
Yeah, I think the Marine's kind of patrolling back and forth between a couple bases to make sure that Violet doesn't take any extras, although Violet has taken the bottom left as a third. And here's his Mutas running around, flying right over the Scanipede.
So many Scanipedes on this map.
There's a lot of Scanipedes on this map. They must be able to swim too, man, because there's a lot of water here.
Jackie and LS Prime, they like the Scanipedes. They put them all over the map.
So I think part of why the Roaches, they're good to add into an army later on when you're going to go for an attack, because what they can do is run in first and they can tank a lot of the damage so that your Banelings and Lings survive to get close to the enemy tanks. So I kind of like the addition of them. I kind of like the fact that he's like, all right, well, I got this Roach Warren. I'm going to throw in some Roaches. So
yeah, Roaches are a very underused unit in this matchup. You only see them in specific situations. Like, you make a very few Roaches to help deal with the Hellions, or you make the Roaches in the late game just because there's like so many Thors and you just need them. Like, Moonblade does that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, free medevac.
That was pretty nice. That's why you gotta have your units on different hotkeys. It's always easy to harp on that when you're not playing.
Well, it might have been rallied there too.
Yeah, that's also true.
Oh wait, no, actually that was a drop that had gone in, wasn't it? Maybe not.
No, I think it was just
no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong part of the map.
Oh, the Scantipede died.
Oh,
by
no!
a Glaive Worm, like, bounce damage hit a Scantipede and it died.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did the Glaive bounce to the Scanipede?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's really, that's kind of cool that can even happen.
I did not know that.
I feel sad for the Scantipede. Critters can die from splash damage, man.
I knew they could die from splash, but I didn't think the Glaive would continue on to the Scanipede.
I know, I feel sad for the Scanipede.
Another change between StarCraft 1 and 2. And here's some Mutas flying up to do some more harassment. Ryung does have several Marines there, and with the stim, they are going to be capable of doing too much damage. And critically, that drop snuck down the left side of the map when the Mutas had a chance to see it. So we're going to see a drop in the third soon enough.
All right, so at this state of the game, we've got third command center going up for Ryung. Kind of find themselves in a similar situation to the last game because he's given his opponent enough time to power up. It's very difficult for him to take a safe third base. He's being very passive, and oh, here comes some Marines.
Charging in, they're going to take out a couple drones, and then they target the Queen, which actually gives him time to run the drones. And oh, it tries to lift up. Marines were caught against the hatch. A couple do go down. Second going to join that drop with a second medevac. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Medevac going on the right side of the map now as well. He's going to split the attention of Violet and drop in 2 places at once.
But looks like Violet is prepared at both locations, both in the main and at the third base. The drop shut down completely.
Shuts down both at once. Very nice play by Violet, responding to that multi-prong drop by Ryung. Smart move by Ryung. It's a good idea, but Violet's all over it.
Yeah, and the third base for Ryung is finally landing. Now this is the timing where Ryung can just play passive for a little while, get maybe 4 or 5 more tanks out, then he needs to start being aggressive, because even if he has that third base up, if he's not aggressive at all, Violet's, I mean, look at that, his hive's almost done. He's got that infestation pit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Violet's almost maxed right now.
Yeah, Violet.
So
don't let him be, or he'll
you can't
he'll take the whole map.
You can't move out with 150 supply against max. I mean, you can if you get the right position, but not with this army composition on this map right now. It would not be wise. It's probably better for him to build up a larger army and then go out and take out, you know, when Violet gets the 4th, then move out with a larger army and try and take out that 4th.
Yeah. I think that's most likely what his plan is, but Violet, realizing his passivity, is going to go ahead and take the gold base as his 4th. Violet has a lot of energy stacked up on those infestors.
That's going to be so brutal, man. It's going to come a lot down to what role those infestors play. I mean, we saw in Game 1, he just didn't get enough done with his infestors, and there was too many tanks left. Lost his whole force, left the game, although he was behind there anyway. But, you know, if he's able to, like, kill off the infestors with tanks, and here comes, oh, a little bit of a drop is going to kill off an Overlord. For some reason, he didn't kill that with the Mutas.
Yeah, looks like that.
He'd rather lose Zerglings than Mutas.
Ooh, nice. Let's pick it off. Now, you guys have probably noticed, I don't know if you can quite see on the minimap, Ryung has made 2 sensor towers. And for that reason, we've kind of seen no more Mutas out of Violet. He's like, I can't really harass with these anymore. I don't really want to. So he's actually spent most of his army, because once you get maxed out, you have to pick your units carefully.
Whoa, hold on there. Ryung did a little bit of distraction with those drops, and he's now moved the rest of his army out onto the map. Are we going to see... Now, he's going to probably be able to take out this third base because Violet has no idea this is coming. He just figured it out. He's running his army, but he's going to be way out of position, and Ryung is going to be able to siege up. He's not going to counterattack. He's going to try and crush this army and save his third. I don't know if he's going to do it, though, with those tanks already in siege mode. There's a ton of tanks.
That is a lot of tanks. In fact, that is 17 tanks.
Oh my god.
It's very hard to use those bungles when the tanks are out. Oh, he's actually going to maybe split his forces into 2 groups and attack from 2 sides. I actually know he's going to go for a counterattack.
Nope. No, he's going to come in from the back, I guess.
Could have probably split those forces into 2, but here he goes.
Tons of units there, a lot of banelings. I don't know if he has the marine count to really deal with the lings and mutas. Banelings killing everything. Roach is soaking up so much damage, and the infestors just along for the ride. The hatchery goes down at the same time, though. And wow, Ryung loses his whole army, but so does Violet. Loses most of his army.
But in the meantime, a drop at the gold base you guys didn't get a shot of it.
Oh wow!
Just one drop cleaned up that entire hatchery. So he actually is now sitting on 1 mining base. Really,
that was actually really good for Ryung. He took out 2 bases and only lost his army. Still has the same mining. This drop's kind of funny. Zergling's just mobbing that. But killed off both bases. I didn't even realize he was killing gold at the same time. Beautiful multitasking by Ryung. And Violet morphing some Broodlords has got to do something with this. He's got to get back. Otherwise, he's only mining at 1 base, basically. He's going to lose the long game. Because even though he killed Ryung's army, Ryung maxed, or re-macroed it up very quickly.
It's very true. Ryung going to lose one of those dropships to 1 muta. And Ryung has taken his gold. He's got that base up at the top. And Violet's in trouble. He made a lot of Corruptors that he wanted to make into Broodlords. And I was like, actually, I made a few Broodlords, but if he loses those Broodlords, he doesn't really have the economy to remake them. He's going to lose a lot of drones here. Nice micro of these Marines.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to keep a few Corruptors if there's going to be Vikings to kill your Broodlords, but I don't think he even knows about the Broodlord tech. Because I don't think we've seen any Vikings thus far.
That's
he
true. Scans
and sees those Broodlords heading towards his third now. He knows what's going on.
Oh man,
he's going to have to fight it with Stim Marines. The Zerglings coming in a little bit late.
But he might actually catch these Marines, and the Broodlords will be able to do a lot.
Oh, but he's clumped up. Ah!
This crazy little moment there. Bunch of Zerglings running and going to catch these tanks a little on siege. The Broodlords coming to join the fight as well. Roach is tanking so much damage. Nice fungals.
Oh, everything gets fungled, and the Broodlords are just going to clean up. After those fungals, Vikings coming a little bit too little too late, and Ryung's natural expansion is completely breached right now. Not completely breached, actually. I didn't see the second line of defense there, but still, he's in a lot of trouble. Those Broodlords can just force him to unsiege, and he's just trying to hold out until that 1 Viking, or a few Vikings rather, can kill those Broodlords.
Yeah, but this attack actually went, I'd say, pretty poorly for Violet, because now he's losing so many expensive units.
Yeah, not as well as he really wanted it to and needed it to.
Now he's 40 supply behind. Just now got that base back up and running. The gold base about to be up and running. He's got it finished. He doesn't. There goes the drone transfer now. So Ryung in a really commanding lead here. He's got 3 mining bases, and Violet lost a lot of mining there. Doesn't really have the economy to make any more Broodlords. He's just trying to get his infestors back out. Now he's making an Ultralisk Cavern, which is pretty smart because his opponent's making a lot of Vikings. Wants to get those Ultras out to kind of change the tide of the battle. It's a smart tech switch.
What are the Zerg's upgrades right now?
Okay, so Violet's got +1 Carapace for all of his units and +1 melee attack upgrades. Doesn't have any more upgrades at all except the Carapace upgrade for his mutas. So that of course affects Broodlords as well. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Ryung though has +3 weapons, and I believe, what is it, +2 armor?
Yeah, +2 armor.
Yeah, so those Zerglings are going to do virtually nothing against those Marines, and they're going to die very fast to the tanks as well. But yeah, Ryung coming in here, taking out that third once again. Violet has a much smaller army this time. You see an Ultralisk Cavern about to finish, but I don't know if that can really turn the tide in his favor this time.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough economy to really support those.
The only thing that can save him, I think, at this point would be a series of beautiful fungals to take out his whole army with very few units. If he can pull something like that off, Violet can come back, but right now he's behind. He lost his third again. Ryung got a 4th.
Yeah,
it's not looking good for Violet.
There's only 5 infestors out. He's going to have to use those, like you said, really well. That's basically his only chance. Now he's just got that one mining gold base, which is way oversaturated. So he's getting really prepared to defend for that. So many Vikings out. And here's the thing, even though he has all those Vikings, and a lot of people say, oh, well, if you make the Overlord or the Ultralisk transition, that's good. But he has so many Marines and Siege Tanks that the economy for Violet just isn't enough to make a ton of Ultralisks, so the Marines and Tanks can just target down those Ultralisks and then laugh. And look at this, already sieged up at that gold base. This is looking really bad for Violet.
Yeah, he's within range of that gold. Marauders running in to soak up Baneling damage and try and damage the Infestors. It was a nice try. Trying to go in there and like snipe the Infestors with Marauders. Didn't work, but still soaked up a lot of Banelings. And there's the Ultras coming out, but like you said, Marines do so much damage to Ultras so fast, especially with the low upgrades.
Yeah, he has only +1 Carapace, and
he's going for it.
The Ultras trying to do what they can. So many Siege Tanks and Marines, though, and it looks like it's just going to be too much. He breaks through. GG!
GG from Violet, and Slayers takes 3 out of 3 in their victories today. Well, I guess they wouldn't take 3 out of 3 of their feats, but Slayers having 3 players playing today and 3 players advancing to the round of 16. Pretty amazing so far. And guess what? We're not even done yet. Look at Ryung, man. Such a baller. He's like, what? Did I just win? Oh, okay. He like didn't even seem to notice. He's like, it's like he turned away. He's like, huh, what?
Looking at Sella. Hey, Sella.
Oh.
Looking pretty happy about his players winning today.
Yeah, man.
He said it's a good day today.
It's a good day.
There you can see him back there.
Where is he? There. Oop, I got in his way that time. There he is. And there's Ryung coming up behind us as well. Gonna go ahead and go to an interview with him in just a moment. But remember, we're not even done yet. We're not even done yet.
The star match of the night.
We still have like what's going to be the best match.
Bomber versus Nesty. We'll see in just a second. But we are about to have an interview, which may be not as funny as the last. Some of our producers.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to go to an interview here in just a moment. But, wow. Slayers Ryung playing really well. I got to say, Violet, though, played, I think, better. He made some mistakes in the first couple games that he didn't make in Game 3.
Yeah, he just lost those hatcheries. Losing those 2 hatcheries, I'm not making like it. But
the first time it happened, he, like, sent forces both ways and cleaned up the drops on both of his hatcheries, and I was like, man, Ryung's in trouble. And then when that big push came down, he went from behind and like wiped out the army from behind while like 6 Marines killed his hatchery.
Yeah, all by themselves.
All by themselves, and didn't split his forces again, so the few Marines on the other side killed his gold, and that was pretty much it. Which is like, he traded, he's like, all right, I just beat your army, but I lost my economy.
Yeah, plus the upgrades played into effect as well.
Yeah.
That was pretty huge. Like, basically, at the end of the game, it was 3-3 versus 1-1.
Yeah.
All right, here's the interview.
슬레이어스 팀의 3명의 전사들이 모두 16강에 올라가게 됐습니다.
I'll let you take it, man. It's your last day.
선수입니다. My second last day. Round of applause for Ryung.
남다를 것 같아요.
네, 앞에 형들 2명이 올라가가지고
네.
부담이 평소보다 심했어요. 저 형들도 올라갔는데 내가 못 올라갈 수는 없으니까.
He said my teammates advanced in the beginning, so I wanted to advance also.
이렇게 올라간 것 같아요.
And I had no pressure because my teammates had already
자,
advanced.
그리고 이제 황규석 선수와 조만혁 선수가 경기를 벌이게 되면 이쪽에 승자와 또 만나게 돼요. 어떤 선수가 올라왔으면 합니까? 개인적으로요.
개인적으로는 조만혁 선수가 올라왔으면 좋겠고요. 저그전을 이번에 연습하면서 자신감을 너무 많이 얻어서 저그전을 한 번 더 하고 싶어요.
He says that he wants OGS Jutsu to advance to the next
데뷔한 지
round.
얼마 안 됐습니다. 그래서 이제 GSTL과
Explain why. Maybe he wants to
다양한
play
경기로
another
인해서 자신을 선보이는 무대가 됐어요. 이 팬분들이 많이 생겼단 말이에요. 팬분들에게 한마디 부탁드릴게요. 카메라 보시고요.
일단
네.
He said you have a lot of fans here. Would you like to tell your fans anything?
기대에 부응할 수 있는 경기력을 보여주기 위해서 더욱더 열심히 노력하겠습니다.
네. 자, 그리고
He
오늘
says,
회식을 한다고
thank you for
합니다.
regarding me
어떤
highly
거
and
드시고
thank you
싶어요,
for watching.
개인적으로?
글쎄요, 지금은 이겨가지고 아무거나 먹어도 맛있을 것 같아서
네.
네 아무거나 먹고 싶어요.
네. 이따가 팀 회식할 때 저도 연락을 꼭 주시기 바랍니다. 네.
Ryung
자,
says,
이상 마지막 주자 슬레이어스 팀의 마지막
Ryung
주자
says
김동원
I'm
선수를
pretty hungry right now,
나와주세요.
and because I won, he feels like he's fine with eating anything. Maybe he wants to go treat himself to some good food right now. Maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah, that's pretty funny because
So-
earlier we were talking about Slayers players going out, and
It's gonna take him out to dinner.
I guess they're all gonna go out to dinner. We should tag along 'cause I'm really hungry. I actually
Yeah, man, let's go.
I didn't eat anything.
Oh.
I didn't eat anything all day, so I'm getting pretty hungry. But I don't care because you know what? My hunger can wait because we have Nesty and Bomber coming up next.
I think an epic TVZ will satisfy our hunger just fine.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not even gonna need to eat after that game. I'm gonna be so satisfied.
It's gonna be pretty slick.
Bomber walking. It's right there. He's looking. He's like, why are you
He's
guys
like, what?
pointing at me?
Bomber's a really cool guy, by the way.
Yeah, he's really
Really
nice.
cool guy. Haven't had a chance to talk to him today since we've been busy casting.
Yeah, he
About his
got here
strategy.
after we started, so we weren't able to.
Yeah, but such a strong player, Bomber. Man, he's so good. We're gonna tell you more about that after a couple minutes. Go get yourself a snack. We'll be back in 2.
I don't play around when the club shuts down. I'm a zombie out to kill this. Midnight mansion, no mansion.